Hello friends, welcome to my channel and explore the world of Microsoft Azure. My name is Rajneesh Kaushik and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, consultant and an enterprise architect. For more latest videos and blogs, you can always log into my website rajneeshkaushik.com and subscribe to my blog. Please do not forget to subscribe my channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss the latest videos. Do like, share and comment.
Welcome to the forefront of digital transformation, where AI is not just a buzzword, but it is a driving force for the innovation. Today, we are venturing into a cloud powered Azure AI Studio tool, which is a very important tool for the developers and the enterprises to turn the possibilities into the realities. So, join me to uncover this robust, scalable, and secure tool, which is called Azure AI Studio. This is a wonderful Microsoft cutting edge platform which is designed specifically for crafting the future AI applications, and it provides the seamless integration of development tool to the deployment capabilities for the intelligent AI applications. So let's dive deeper. Empowering your business with AI, building a dynamic Q&A co-pilot in Azure AI Studio. So let's get started. Here is the agenda for today's session. First, we are going to discuss what is Azure AI Studio. Then we will dwell deeper into a concept called prompt flow, and we will understand what is prompt flow, how it is very useful. And then finally, we will jump to a very critical and important topic, which is becoming an industry keyword. Is called what is RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. And then finally, we will jump to a demo to showcase this capability of Azure AI Studio. What is Azure AI Studio? So if you think today's world, right, and anybody who wants to develop a AI application, he or she needs to know the Python or some other language, right, which is very useful. Python is a de facto language for this kind of machine learning and AI. But unless or until you know this language very well, you cannot develop any AI application easily. So with this kind of requirement, Microsoft thought that they should create a tool which is very easy to understand, easy to use with a drag and drop interface with a low code kind of experience, and that can help anybody to develop this application in no time, and not just develop but also deploy the application, right, with very ease, right, directly in the Azure. So this, with this thought process, Microsoft came up with this new tool called Azure AI Studio. It combines the code along with the GUI for the flexible development and the deployment. So suppose you are a developer who are very hands-on person, and so first what you can do, you can drag and drop and create a with the help of GUI, create an interface. And then if you want to dwell deeper and tweak the code more granularly, then this also generates a code where you can just download the code and then start changing that code, right, to make it and take it to the next level. So that is what the integration capability is. And moreover, it also provides you a collaboration approach where multiple developers can work together. Okay, so suppose some developers can build the code, some of them can deploy a test. So this provides a different personas, right, and this can be used to deploy, develop and build the code by different personas, and this provides a very good collaborative capabilities, right. It is a very secure tool. It provides a scalability, that means you can deploy applications, scale these applications to a larger audience, and then it also provides a enterprise grade security. All the code which is developed in this tool is based on the responsible AI principles, right. So this single tool provides you the capability to harness AI to drive innovation and solution across all different sectors, and like whether it is healthcare, finance sector or any other sector. So this is a very important tool, and it is a need of the hour that Microsoft has launched this tool, because with this tool, even if you are not very tech savvy, UI, UI driven approach, you want to use low code approach, you can develop the application, deploy the application in no time. What is prompt flow? This is a very important concept, right? And actually prompt flow is nothing but a open source GUI based system, right, which is being used in the Azure AI Studio. And this tool provides you a very visual graphical interface, okay, with the prompts. And along with the prompt, it provides you the Python tools. With this way, you can create a, with the help of GUI, you can create a step by step approach to develop a prompt. Like if suppose, take an example, user questions, sends a question to the chatbot. Chatbot tries to answer that question. So that is a prompt. So that prompt you can develop in such a way, with a drag and drop, that it gives you end to end flow, like a flow chart, right? This becomes very easy for a novice user to use this tool and develop this whole application with the help of prompt flow. It is something like a flow chart of the prompt, right? It helps you to provide a AI development from the prototyping to the deployment. That means you can create a prototype, you can deploy that prototype in the playground area, and then once you are satisfied with the prototype, you can deploy that prototype into the production or QA environment. It provides you unique capability to share this or iterate this code in a multiple iterations, or refine the AI model with the multiple iterations with your team. So suppose you have a first iteration or MVP of the product, where you say that okay, this product is a first version of it, it provides you this capability. Now the second version, I'm going to add multiple different prompts, right? And those prompts I will use, right? So this provides a different collaborative capabilities, and also a life cycle of the development and deployment of the application, which means that it provides a structural development process for AI applications, right? And there are different type of prompt flow available, right? So some of them are standard prompt flow, right? Some of them are chat related prompt flow, and all these details are given in my website blog. So please go through that, and you will understand the use cases associated with the different prompts, and why and when to use which kind of prompt flow. So this is very very famous keyword called RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. That is its full form. What is that, and why it is becoming a very big buzzword in the today's industry, like IT industry and AI? So what is, before RAG, what used to happen, right? Before RAG, whenever you try to create a application, AI application or a chatbot application, right? You don't have an option to use your data, okay, to search your data against your data. You can real time you can find the relevant data from the data which is already available in the enterprise, right? For example, suppose you have a employee data, right? Or you have a data set in within your organization for all the employees, along with HR database, right? And you want to use LLM capability to search that database and extend the outcome from the database, and do the similar kind of LLM implementation, because LLMs are trained against the internet data, right? It is not trained against your corporate data or your internal data sets. So if you want to use the LLM for the internal data set, there was no capability before that. So RAG came with a unique approach, that instead of using just the internet data, right? And the problem with internet data is it is already trained for certain duration only. Like for example, chat GPT is trained till April 2023, right? If you have a data coming after 2023, it will not give you the suitable results. And if you ask a question which is very specific to your own data, which is real time data, which is coming every day or updated every day, it will not provide you the real answers from that data. So how do we fix this issue? In order to fix this issue, RAG came with a capability where it extends the LLM capability with the real-time relevant data retrieval capability. What is the use of this? Like how it does it? The mechanism is very simple. It creates a index for efficient data search. Like suppose this example, if you see this is your data set, which is a database, and it retrieve. If you ask a question, the question goes to the data store. It retrieves the answer from the data set, and then it tries to get a matching result from your, based on your question, and then based on that it constructs a prompt. The prompt is sent to the LLM model, and that model actually generates a response based on the question you are asking. So this provides a speed, efficiency, and enhanced accuracy for the AI response. It does not give you very generic responses. It gives you very specific responses, And moreover, it also not just use your data set, but also it can search dynamically the internet and get you the recent data. So it combines the capability of the internet along with your data and then gives you a very relevant result. It is also optimized with, and when we use RAG, right, in Azure AI Studio, we use Azure AI search capability for the indexing purpose. Azure AI integration, Azure AI search is a very important tool which is used in the Azure AI Studio, which provides you a vector DB or vector database search, right, along with the FAISS search for the better performance. So RAG provides you a added benefits on the top of the LLM, which is there, right, which makes it more unique, and very specific results based on your own data. So this is very important tool. Let's jump to a demo to understand the whole concept what I have just explained you. So in this demo, let's understand what we are going to achieve and what are the steps involved in the demo. First, we are going to create a Azure AI Studio project. Then we will deploy a Azure OpenAI model and chat with the your own data, right? With first of all, we will chat with the Azure OpenAI model. Then we will create a prompt flow from the playground, and with that prompt flow, we will not just create a prompt flow, but we'll customize this prompt flow with your own data source. And in this case, we are going to use a blob storage. In the blob storage, I am going to deploy a particular container. In that container, I am going to push the data in the container. And then we will evaluate the flow using a question and answer evaluation data set. With that question and answer evaluation data set, we will evaluate whether the flow is working fine with our own data, and then finally we will deploy the flow for the consumption into the Azure App Service. So this is the demo. So let's get started with the demo time. First, search Azure AI Studio in the internet. It will give you this azure.microsoft.com/product/AI Studio, and then you are already here. So now you will do the sign in. So let me sign in and come back. So I have already signed in, and if you see this, there are four different tabs. Home tab, where it provides you the this options, like it provides you discover options where you can what you can achieve with this tool, right? You can build your own AI assistant, build your own copilot, build multimodality into your app, or use your Azure AI SDK. It also provides you recent AI, and then it also provides you cutting edge models like Mr. Large is now available in the Azure AI Studio, right? These are the browse model catalogs which you can go through, like Llama 270B, Llama 270B. These are the text generation and chat completion models, right? So it also provides you OpenAI models, you can use directly. And then it also provides you different Microsoft Azure AI tools available like SDK, right? You can go to the SDK from there. So it's something like a one single stop shop for going through exploring and understanding that what is available in the tool. Then there is another option called exploring, where it provides you detailed overview of the models, right? Model benchmarks, different kind of collections available, like inference task available, suggest a model for a particular scenario. You can search that what kind of model you require. Like if you type a scenario, it will provide you suggest a model for you, right? You can search the model because all these models are available here. It also provides you model benchmarking, like depending upon what kind of model you want to assess the performance, you can do the performance, and based on that performance you can decide that this model has a good performance, so I'm going to use this model for this particular purpose. The other purpose, this another model has a good performance, so I'm going to use that model. And then it also provides a prompt catalog. Prompt catalog means, suppose you are building a travel application, travel assistant application, then these are the travel prompts. If you are creating an insurance report, then these are the car insurance damage report writing. For summarization purpose, these are the prompts available. So it's a ready-made prompts available for certain set of activities. You can directly use those prompts, right? It provides you a very good starting point, and then you can customize those prompts based on your needs. So it's really good, right? I mean, you don't have to struggle to create a prompt from the scratch, right? And these are very important, like summarization related activities, you can do it in no time. Then it has a build capability. Build capability is something where you can build the project, end to end project, right? So you can create a new AI project and then it will start building the project for you. Once you build the project and you deploy the project, then it provides you a unique capability to manage the project which is already deployed. So it provides a hub kind of experience where you can create a new Azure AI hub resource. Like when I say hub resource, it can create a customized networking, encryption, identity dependent resources or tags. So it gives you end to end capability in the same screen, right? So let's understand it, how it works, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new AI project, and in that project, the project name, it is suggested here, and it is asking what resource you want to use. So I'm going to create a new resource, and here I can create a new resource, and it's going to go and create a resource in my subscription, right? So I'm going to use this subscription, and then it's asking me which location. So it's a standard operations, like I mean in Azure you can choose location and all that. It's asking the name of the Azure Open AI service which you want to create. You want to create a new one, or you can use the existing one. So I don't have existing one, I'm going to create a new one. It's also asking Azure AI search service, you want to create a new one. Obviously you want to create a new one because in this case I'm going to create a new service. So I'm going to say that demo service. Let's see if it takes that. So it's going to create this service. Now again, this is really good experience. You don't have to struggle, go to the Azure and then do all that things, right? You can do everything in this screen. Then go to the next. It is going to give you the review, and you, once you are satisfied with this, you can create a AI project. That's it, boom. And as and when it is progressing, first it is going to validate the resource whether the name and everything is correct. Once everything is correct, it will immediately create these resources in no time. This is really good experience. Otherwise what you need to do, you need to go to the Azure, go create one by one all the components and understand what component is required. Typically for a Azure AI projects, like AI project, all these components are required. You require a AI, open AI, you require the resource group, you require the Azure AI search. All these components are automatically getting created. As and when it is getting created, it is creating a check mark, green check mark against each of them. So let it create, and then we will go to the next step. Okay, so now if you see, it automatically created that, and now the UI is automatically changed. Once all the resources are created, the UI is automatically changed. So now we are in this pane, right? So if you see build, we have these options. These are the tools available, these are the components available. So let's focus on the build and manage part. So build, we have these components. Now let's go to the playground area, because playground is a unique area where you can build your tool, you can play with this and then learn from it what is there, right? So now if you see, playground currently have system messages, right? And then it has a prompt samples. This is activated now. And if you go to overview, right, in the overview, what is was it showing? Add a new project description. You can add a description here by adding it. You can add a description, right? Now if I go back to the earlier screen, right, and I see that this project is created for me in the build tab, because I created a project, right? In that project I created all the components. If I click here, it will take me to the next level where it is going to give me this screen, right? In this screen I can customize the description and I can do anything. So we will do step by step. We will go to the different tools, understand these tools, right, step by step. So now you see that in the we are in the deployment tab. In the deployment tab, you see there is nothing here. So what we will do, we will create a deployment. In the deployment, we are going to create, there are two type of deployments. Real-time endpoint, which means that deploying using the real-time endpoint wizard, there is a wizard it will create, or pay-as-you-go, where deploy using pay-as-you-go managed service. So we will use real-time In the real time, it is going to ask you which model you want to use. So there are these models, right? And you might have already done your research against this model, right? You want to use Mistral or Chat GPT, GPT-4, or any of these models. So you select that model. Like for example, I'm going to select the Chat GPT, and it is going to give you the model family information, model version information, what are the capabilities this model provides, everything. And it, so you know that Chat GPT 4 model provided task chat completion capability. So I'm going to use this model and confirm it. Once I confirm it, it's going to create the model deployment, and then deploy this model. And model version it is going to select. You can choose the model version, whatever version you want. Here at this present time it is showing me only this model version. There are other options available as well, like standard deployment, or there for other models there are other options as well. Token values you can set, like token per minute rate in the thousands you can select. So these are the options it automatically provides. And when you say you are satisfied with these options, you can just say deploy. The moment you deploy it, this model is ready to be available with you. And it's already, you can see that this, like, it did not take much time, right? Now you can open this in the playground to play around with this application. So now model is there behind the scene, and now you are running the application. So first and foremost step here we are going to run is, we are going to create a system message. What is system message? System message is to give a context. Like, let's understand what is system message. System message is a instruction given to the model how it should behave, and in any context it should reference when generating a response. Like for example, you can describe the assistant's personality, right? Tell it what it should and should not answer, and tell it how it will format the response. There is no token limit for this section, but it will be included with every API call, so it counts against the overall token limit. That means that suppose I want my model to display the answer in a certain format, like it should say that username colon and then the message, or it could say that in a specific personality could be jovial personality or a very professional tone. So those personalities, so all these things can be displayed or put here. So in this case I am going to put that you are an AI assistant that help people find the information. So this is my system message which I am giving to the model. So I have defined the personality of my model. I have defined what it should do. I have also defined which format you need to be done. You can define many things in that, right? So we are not going to discuss what you can do, but like there are lots of things you can do. Like, you just a plain English you can write, format you can write, personality you can write, all those things you can write in a plain English, and it will understand what you need. Then with this, let's do the chat playground. In the playground itself we do the chat. So in this case we are going to ask the question that how much do the trail walker hiking shoe cost. Now the problem with this model is, today this model is not trained against the trail walker hiking shoe cost, because there is no data available in this model. So when you ask this question to the model, it will give you a very weird answer or not correct answer. So it will give you that as of my last update in 2023, I don't have a real-time data or specific prices for the product, including the trail walker hiking shoe. That means it does not have that data. And then it is giving a very weird answer that the shoe cost could be anything depending upon the brand, material, or technology used. So it's giving you some weird answer, right? It's not a correct answer. So this is a problem with the LLM, right? I mean, you cannot contextualize this LLM for your own data. So what I will do here, I'm going to use my own data here, right? So for that, I'm going to add the data, and add your data option is available here. In add your data, it's going to ask you what kind of data you want to add here. So I'm going to say that I'm going to create a connection to my own blob. So in this case, I have created my own blob, and the blob name is product data 7 blob, and then there is a container provided here, data container, and then it is asking me the authentication type. So I'm going to say that it is a account key authentication, and it is going to ask me the account key for that. So I'm going to copy the account key here from the storage blob and then paste it here. So let me do that. So I am here in the account key. This is a access key section for the product 7, my storage account, and I'm going to show this and copy this key here. So this is access key. Why access key is required? Because without access key you cannot connect to the, and then you put a connection name like product connection, product con. Okay, it's invalid because it does not take those characters, and create a connection against it. Now once the connection is created, now my data is ready, and if you see, it is showing me this product connection, and it is also able to now you see that data is already available. Product info data is already available. So I can select the data set which I want to, crawl and use. So here I'm going to use this product info data. Then it is asking me which Azure AI service you want to use, the Azure AI search service you want to use. So you can create another one or you can use this one. So here I am using this. Then it is asking me a vector search for this. So I am using the vector for Azure OpenAI resource for the search setting, and then I have to put acknowledge button and then go to the next step. So vector search, when you do vector search, and you can refer to my blog where I have explained what is this vector search. And vector search also provides the capability of hybrid capability, vector plus keyword search both, and it also provides hybrid plus semantic capability to provide a most accurate search result for generative AI application. So it gives you very relevant result with vector, semantic and keyword search retrieval, right? And hybrids can be set as a default option, and then and can be changed at the inference time in the playground. Not adding vector search supports keyword and semantic retrieval keyword will be set as default and can be changed at inference time in the playground. So that means these are the capabilities you can change, or you can change at the inference time. So these are the embedding capabilities available here, right? So now after that, it is going to tell you that what kind of index you want to create. So it's just putting index name, right? And you want to put a schedule. Why schedule index? Suppose you are adding more data. So every 1 hour or every daily at a specific time, the data is coming. So you can keep creating that index based on the new data is getting generated, and it will keep adding that index for the newly generated data. So here I'm going to just use a schedule update of once, right? And then it will also create a virtual machine behind the scene. So I'm going to create a auto select virtual machine, right? So there it will select the auto select, or you can say select the machine which is already, like you can from the recommended option you can select 4 core, or these are the recommended options it is saying, or you can say that select, or you can say that select from all the options. So these are the options available. So I mean there are multiple options to choose. Then review, and then once you review everything, it is finished. So where now if you see this, it's automatically adding the data, and not just adding a data, but it will crawl that data. So when it is crawling the data, you will see this option available, right? In this option, it's going to run the go through the data, and once everything is the data index is created, so it's actually creating an index now, and it is showing that index creation is in progress, right? And if you go here, indexes option, and you can see that this index is still running. If you go further inside it, it will show you that what is the status of this index. So it is running now. You can refresh it to know what is the status. It will show you the test data. It will show you the test data as well in the Azure AI Studio. Or you can also do this. You can, it will show you everything, like these are the test data which I have added there, right? It will also show you the job detail. So if you go to the job detail, I really like this UI, because with this job detail, you can go into the job and understand which pipeline is running behind the scene. Like in this example, at this point of time, we are at this particular pipeline, this particular step. So after this, we'll go to the next step, and once all the steps are done, it will say that it is done, and it will show the check mark as green. So let it run. It will take couple of minutes initially, and after that it will be very quick, because as and when the new data is coming, you can schedule it and it will run after a couple of hours or at a specific time. So let's wait for it to finish. It also provides a very unique capability. I really like it. If you double click this node, it will give you what it is doing actually. So it is LLM crack, chunk and embed data. That means this is a process which takes more time. It is actually running a Python command, and that Python command is actually putting the data, the product data, and chunking it, create a small chunk of the data and embedding it into the vector DB. So this is why, that is why this process is taking little bit of time, right? And how it is doing it, it is doing with this Python M Azure ML command, right? These are the commands it is running behind the scene, and it is going on, with your drag and drop itself. You are it's creating end-to-end thing, right? You don't have to worry what it is doing on it, but just in case if you want to understand it, this is actually what it is doing behind the scene. Now you see that this job is ran successfully. So it's showing the green arrow. Now it's running this job, update ACS index. That means it is, after chunking and doing everything, it is creating index and updating the index. And once that is done, the last job will be executed, which is register vector index asset. So these are the jobs, and once everything is done, this whole process of indexing will be done, right? Okay, so now you see that all the steps of the job has been successfully run. So now if you go back to this job, right, you will see that job ran successfully. The index is already created, and then what we will do, we will go back, and then we will see that, index process is completed successfully, status is completed. So with this we will go to the, again, our deployment. Okay, and there we will see that this is the model which we are again opening in the playground. And this time if you see, index is also there, right? This is your index. This index is already created, and you also saw that initially when we looked into it, it was showing that index is still running, but now it is not showing that. And then the search type is, you can select the search type. These are the search type. It has hybrid plus semantic or vector keyword, or semantic or keyword differently, or vector. So now let's see what is the answer of this. Suppose I ask the same question again, will it give me the correct answer? Because initially when I asked the question, it gave me a very weird answer, right? Because it was trained up till that time. But when I ask this question, let's see what happens. Voila. So this gives me a correct answer. Why? Because now it is not going to the internet, or it is not relying on the data till the time the ChatGPT was trained, which is April 23, 2023. It is actually going into my data, searching that the trail walker cost, hiking shoes cost, and giving me the relevant result. And it is also giving me a link to reference that particular data set. So here if I click that data set, it will give me that data and say that okay, this is the data, and it is for the trail walker hiking shoe. This price is 110, and brand is this, category is this, and feature is this. So this way it gave you end to end option to create a chatbot. So now you saw that this whole process we are doing it in the playground, right? Now what if I want to deploy this whole application which I have just developed after my prompt flow, right? I mean, all the flow, everything I have done. Now I want to deploy this application as a web application in the Azure, because anyway, if a user comes, he's not going to come to the playground and launch the application. We need to deploy it as a professional environment in the web application, or a application which user can directly access and use. So for that we will have a deploy to web application option available. So let's see, we deploy to web application option. It is going to ask me create a new web application or update an existing web application. So I'm going to create a new web application. So I'm going to create that trail walker app, chat app, and then subscription. It is pretty much asking all those details. So I'm going to use the subscription. Resource group, again I'm going to use the same resource group. Location, again, it's a standard way to deploy any application, so I'm going to use this. And pricing plan is a standard pricing plan, or very basic plan I'm going to use. Okay, so and then enable the chat history. That means if you want to make sure that all the chat history is available in the web page, you can enable that. This is a standard one, acknowledge the pricing and acknowledge the web app will anchor users and all that. So I am going to just say deploy. So once I say deploy, it's going to deploy this whole code into the web application, and it will be available. Once the web application is deployed, the launch button will be made available, and when I click launch button, it will directly launch the web application into the next browser tab. Okay, so let's wait for the application to deploy and see what happens after that. Now you can see that it is saying that deploying web app. Stay on this project while deployment completes. It should take few minutes. That means it is still deploying it, right? So let it deploy, and once everything is done, then it will show you the launch button. Not just that, it you can also view the code what it generates, right? So it generates this code. You see this is a code it is generating. So if you copy this code and use this code in your own environment, you will be able to run the same kind of chatbot, like with the help of Python, because behind the scene it is using this Python. And you can also like deploy the application, deploy the web application, right? And you can also launch this tool here. So if you see, this is a website, and if I ask this question here, one second, if my question is this, I just entered the trail walker question here, I copy the same question here, and let's see what does it do. Because now this application is running on the web application deployed on the Azure. And it is generating this answer. You can also open the chat history here. It is generating the answer here. If you see, the Trailwalker hiking shoe cost is this much, and there is a reference found here. If you open this reference, it is going to give you that reference here. Actually, Azure web application from where this application is getting deployed or used. Now you can use this to clear the chat history or create a new chat, right? All these options are there. You can show the chat history here, like what have been done in this chat. So this is very easy. This tool is amazing in terms of creating your own chatbot with the help of drag and drop, creating a word class chatbot, and by using OpenAI, using your own data set, and it's generating a wonderful, phenomenal application in no time.
Thanks for watching, and do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't